Hello, Steve here. Steve that sits up and sits back down again. Some kind of habit from some other life, possibly. I just don't know. I just notice I do it. And I might do it at other times when I'm not recording myself, and then I don't notice it as much. And these are why my videos take a while to get through. Or you just shut them off and you go on to something else, And I understand. It's been the most challenging week I can remember. Not in a bad way. It's just been challenging me to show up. And I have shown up. And I've done things that were I just don't want to look at that, little brass thing. So we're just going to see if we can just put this somewhere else that I like, what's showing up better. Although now it looks like the computer's crooked, but one has to just let go sometimes. Like now would be a good time to just let go. Oh, so it comes to my mind and my heart and my overall general being that it would be a good idea to just start off this video by going through the process that I like to go through for any healing session. So we may as well, people sometimes who know me and who may want to have a healing session without paying for it, just call me up and say, do you feel like chatting? Because they know that everything to me is a healing session. So there's a way they can have a healing session if they can just keep me engaged for a while with some interesting conversation. They'll get a healing session because I'll be grounding energy the whole time that we're talking. And I'm okay with that. It makes me laugh sometimes when people call, send me a text message and they say, do you have time for a chat? And I almost always do have time for a chat, especially people who have had healing sessions in the past and paid for them. And they're more chattable than people I've never chatted with, and maybe I'll chat with them. It could be interesting. People are interesting. I find all of us fascinating. Every single one of us are fascinating. Every single one of us are different. We're all unique calibrations of the divine consciousness. Okay, so let's just go through this process together. I mean, you could do it or not do it because you're sitting there in your own space on your phone or on your computer or on your tablet or on your something, and you're just watching a video and you are not sure why possibly you're watching a video. And I might suggest you're watching this video because you're choosing to heal. And if you want to speed it up, and it's okay if you don't. If you want to speed it up, then you can do these things I suggest. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is that you state out loud, I connect to my deep self. It's like, for me, it's like getting on the elevator and hitting the button for the basement parking. I just go, ooh, and I go right into my spine and right into my root chakra and right into my grounded connection with the healing center of the earth. It's just automatic. I just go into it. But the next part is I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. And then you feel the energy just go deeper. And yet that deep self energy that's more in the spine, more in the nerve system, that deep self resides within the communication system of the body. Information coming in, information going out. It's all communication. The deep self, you connect to your deep self, you just feel this energy begin running up and down your spine. And this is new to me. I was taken through a process in the dream world, I think December 2nd or 3rd of 2023. And when I woke up in the morning, I had been taken to a new place, new to me. And I was told, this is the deep self. And you connected to the deep self. I did it in the dream world. So then I stated out loud, I connected to the deep self, and then I did it in the awake world, or the semi-awake world, whatever this world is for you. Whether you're awake or asleep or dreaming a different dream, we just don't know. But connecting to the deep self, grounding ourselves to the healing center of the earth. The next thing you say is, I open myself to the healing power of the One. I release anything not useful to me now. Even I release the torture of hearing the kitty cry from the kitty spa room. She's got plenty of food. She's not going to be in there for long, so we can all just I choose to let this go. And then, if you choose to work with the hot doors, and if you state out loud, I choose to work with the hot doors, then you're basically giving them your debit card number and telling them that they can work on you nighttime, daytime, anytime. So if you want to limit it, you can say, I choose to work with the hot doors for the next hour. And then later on, that's just giving them, giving them $10, whatever. It's an energy exchange. But they've been my greatest helpers. And I have many great helpers. They have been my greatest helpers. And they continue to be. They're amazing. And you ought to get to know them. And yeah, you're going to have to let go of some stuff. But it's useful stuff to let go of. So I just say, go ahead and do it. Just let go of it. Okay, so those are the things. So I connect to my deep self. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I release anything not useful to me now. And I choose to work with the hot doors. Okay, that's just getting this video rolling, and already it's 8 minutes and 18 seconds. Where did that time go? It seems like a long period of time to me, but it goes by very quickly. So I'm going to start off. So we basically, when we ground ourselves like that and open ourselves like that and connect to the deep self, we initiate a healing process for ourselves. When we connect to the deep self, just the energy of the deep self, just moving through the body is a healing process. I think I'll just talk about, I might have started this off talking about kind of how challenging, maybe I used the word challenging, this past week was. And a number of people very dear to me were having a lot of challenges in their life, especially over the weekend. And this is only Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, challenging times. And I was supporting them and holding spaces for them, doing healing work, which is oftentimes just holding a space for someone while they're going through some energetic upgrade, which can produce symptoms that they're experiencing and not sure if it's okay to be feeling this. And my suggestion to people is always to trust your intuition. And if your intuition feels like you better have someone professional check this, someone with credentials, MD, me, doctor, or, a chiropractor or an osteopath or, one of the paths, somebody on some path, massage therapist, acupuncturist, psychotherapist, whoever just in your intuition, I should check in with somebody that you feel that you might get the help you need. Trust your intuition on it. And whoever it is might be in an emergency room, because if you think of the word emergent, which is a word about coming out, emerging is merging out. See? Emergency is a coming out party for you. And the sea is a body of water, and a large body of water relates to the emotional realm. So if you're having an emergency, you're having a release. Typically, most healing has to do with letting go of unresolved, unintegrated experiences that have emotions attached to them. So emergency is the C that you are, because I can't remember what the number is, but we're like 87% water. I mean, you look at it, and some people look like they're more of a percentage of water, especially if they're detoxing and they're kind of puffy, like I have been for 9 months. I've been a bit puffy. But we are all in an emergent sea. We're in a place of moving from one world to another world. Will you lose your body? Probably not. Will you lose your body as you know it? Possibly so. Will you still be in a body when you get to the other side? Quite possibly, yes. But there are so many things that this is a 28-year process that we have 11 more months to go in. And in that 28-year process, we've been through 7 years of physical cleansing, 7 years of mental cleansing, 7 years of emotional cleansing, and now 6 of the 7 years of spiritual cleansing. I don't know about you, but the last 27 years have really caused a lot of change to take place in me and those around me. Because when you change, your world changes. And there's this whole process of having your world match your perception of what you would like to create. So we're all in that process. Can we create the world that we want to live in? And that's always been the question. Can I create the world that I would choose to live in? And so we all have that opportunity now. And I would suggest that you think about the world you want to live in. What would it be like? What would the people be like? What would their treatment of animals be like? What would their treatment of people be like? What would their treatment of plants be like? What would their treatment of all sentient creatures be like? Will they follow what is referred to sometimes as the golden rule, which I think is the only rule one needs in their life in terms of spiritual rules? And the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You don't need any past that. If you have that, you don't need any past that or past the hat. You got it. So work with that, continue to work with that. If you want to add the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word, do your best, don't assume, and for gosh sake, don't take it personally. And I can speak about it now because I'm getting better at it. So I think you can really honestly be impeccable with your word, even if you're in the improving stage of not taking it personally. Even if you're 10% better at not taking it personally, that's an improvement. You're moving in the right direction. So just keep it going. Just keep moving up that escalator of consciousness. That was kind of fun to do. Hopefully you'll enjoy watching it. All right. So we have a healing field set up. You're connected to your deep self. You're grounded to the healing center of the earth. You open the healing power of the one. You're possibly choosing to work with the hot torch if you let go of anything that's not useful to you now. And so now we're going to get into the tarot card portion. Can't remember if I was going to talk about something else, but here it is, sitting here just waiting for you. I think personally this is a beautiful card that I find it very difficult to say that word. Satiety. I can say the word satiation, but the word satiety, satiation to me means satisfied. I'm satiated. I've had enough. I think satiety comes from the same root, and it means, possibly that you've had enough. It may mean that you're satisfied. In my little duck glass, which has the duck looking one way on one side and the duck looking a different way, I mean, it's still towards you, but maybe you're looking at its back end and it's looking back at you, and this side, you're looking at its front end, and it's either running at you or just dancing in the middle of a field or something else. I mean, you're making it up, so you get to make up your own reality. But I'm having my first kind of supposedly similar to a coffee drink made of mushrooms. It's quite good. I can't tell you what it is. Maybe I'll have the box, and maybe they'll become one of my advertising sponsors when I reach 1,000K views. I just sometimes get up around 200 on occasion. I don't know if the people are staying around for the whole thing, because sometimes they're really long. But it could be an advertisement. Okay, so the satiety card is the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups is related to satiety, and if you know never mind, or emotional contentment and satisfaction. This is the state of emotional contentment that comes from deep within and radiates out in all aspects of your life, which is represented by the 10 cups on the Kabbalah, or Tree of Life. This is satisfaction or contentment that is coming from within the cups and radiating out. 10 of Cups is different from the 9 of Cups in the extent that 9 of Cups is happiness that can be tangibly pointed to in the external reality. The 10 of Cups is deep emotional contentment and satisfaction that comes from within and externally radiates the quality of contentment and satisfaction. Doesn't that just feel good? I'm feeling these words, and so I'm feeling this sensation in me. So when I'm speaking these words, you may be feeling that emotional satisfaction. Like, yeah, I feel somewhat emotionally satisfied, somewhat content within myself at the current time. Or you may say, well, in 10 weeks, 10 days, or 10 weeks, or 10 months, I'm going to feel emotional satisfaction. And that's okay, because they'll probably say that they say that kind of stuff at the end of every one of these things, like, well, I'll just read it to you. When you pull this card, it can indicate the next 10 weeks, the next 10 months, there is an experience of emotional contentment. I'm saying that you can have it right now if that's what you choose to have, is to feel in this moment emotionally content. And if you just imagine it, like, what would it feel like to feel emotionally content? Ah, and for me, I get that feeling every time I say I connect to the deep self. I get a feeling of peace, calm, and a feeling like everything is okay. That to me is emotional contentment. The astrological, I know you were all waiting for the astrological. This is the logic that comes from the astros. The astrological aspect of this is Mars in Pisces. I love Pisces. I'm a Capricorn, but I love Pisces. And I love them all. But Pisces and Scorpio, they're just, and Aquarius, all of them. There's some really great qualities in every single one of them. Mars is the planet of energy and vitality. So this is satisfaction and contentment that has enormous vitality and expressiveness. It comes from within and radiates out in a very fluid and expansive way, which is symbolized by the astrological sign of Pisces. Basically, the Ten of Cups represents an energy and enthusiasm that is being experienced at a very deep levels, deep self, possibly, within and radiates out in all aspects of your life. So if you want to wait 10 weeks or 10 months or 10 seconds, you can do that. Or you can just feel the emotional contentment you feel in this moment. You can just feel satisfied. I'm emotionally satisfied in this moment. I feel good enough. I'm satisfied with good enough right now. And I'm satisfied with wherever it's going to go and however it's going to end up being. I don't really have much more to say, so I think I'm going to have that be the reading about that. That's going to be the World Tarot reading for, and I could make it for today, or I could give it 10 hours and publish it tomorrow so you can get it tomorrow. Yeah, and it could, emotional satisfaction can be your card for tomorrow. And then what, I could pick a card tomorrow night and have it be for the next day. So this will be for May 14th possibly. And I'll go ahead and post this and people will go, but what about the, you can be emotionally satisfied on the 13th and the 14th. Even if you don't find out about it till the 14th, you can look back on the 13th and go, oh, I was pretty emotionally satisfied on the 13th too. And if you want to be emotionally satisfied for the rest of your life, you can do that as well. It's your choice. It's been quite a week. It's been quite a wonderful week of change. And if you want to heal, if you feel like you have some healing to do, know that it will involve change. How little you resist the change will determine what a peaceful change it is for you. How much you resist the change will determine how possibly painful it is for you. Having done it the resistance way most of my 70-some years, I'm highly recommending that you just let go of your resistance to change and just let the change happen and determine whether or not you like it after it's occurred. Because if you try to determine whether or not you like it before it occurs, you're just making up a bunch of hooey. And every single one of us has lived in a world where a bunch of hooey was made up and somewhat crammed down our little throats from the very beginning that this is who you're supposed to be. And I'm just telling you, it's all a bunch of hooey. All of it. Every single bit of it. There's a reality behind that hooey. You can just ask the question, who am I? It's a hooey question. Who am I outside of the thought forms, the constructs, the matrix that was made up for you before you arrived? Who are you inside this emotionally satisfied being of possibly light? And you can answer quite honestly, and you might even just try it out for size. You might just say, I am that I am. And just notice if it feels like you contract or expand. And if by saying, I am that I am, you feel yourself contracting, that's because you're feeling the expansion of the I am hitting your wall of perception, hitting your hooey. So if you just go hooey and just blow the hooey out, then the expansion can take place. There's no resistance to it. And you just go, oh, I am that I am. Seems like a good thing to be. I'll just carry on. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't think I got this under 20. No, not under 20 minutes. So 27, 21. I'll say now must go and hit the button at